Hey book nerds, welcome back to my channel, The Book Nerd. My name is Denise, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the books that I've read by Freida McFadden and ranking them I probably will do from least to favorite, okay, or from least to first, or however you want to say it. So that's what I'll be talking about today, so let's get to it. Hey book nerds, so in today's video, again, I just want to say that I'm going to be talking about my Freida McFadden books that I've read and ranking them. So I'll be ranking them in order of least favorite to my most favorite book. And doing this does not mean any of the books were not even any of them weren't even a 3-star. They were all 4 stars or above. And I liked them all, but just want to rank them and kind of talk about the things that I like best and the things that I like least, or the type or whatever. So here we go. So I've only read 7 Freida McFadden books. And again, I would consider Freida McFadden to be one of my favorite thriller authors. But I do plan on reading more. I'm looking forward to, I think, The Tenant that's coming out in May. But I just kind of want to go so far into, how I've liked them and which ones have been my favorites and the ones that aren't so much my favorite, even though I still really like them. So I'm going to start with the least, and I probably should have stacked them up a little bit differently. Oh, real quick, I have on my Gonzaga Bulldog shirt because the Zags will be playing today when I'm filming this video, and they are in the NCAA, not the finals, but they're in they're playing in the playoffs or what have you, and I'm hoping that they'll win. So just wanted to put that little plug in. So the first book that I'm going to share is The Crash, and this one was Freida McFadden's most recent book that came out. And I consider this to be like my least favorite. Again, that does not mean that it wasn't good at all. It's not that I wouldn't even suggest this book. I do suggest it, especially if you like this type of thriller. So what this book is about, and I might say the names, I might not, because I don't remember names after a while. But this book is about Tegan, who is pregnant. She's 8 months pregnant, and she gets some bad news, I believe, or her life is kind of upside down, and so she's going to travel to I think like another city or something to be with her brother for a little while, kind of take a break, get away from things. She does this, and there is a blizzard, and what ends up happening is Tegan gets in a crash, and then we think is a good Samaritan comes and gets her, but she always had bad vibes about him, and picks her up, and takes her to the cabin until the blizzard is over, or the home or cabin, and then is going to take her to the hospital because her foot or ankle is hurt. But it gets crazy from there. So she ends up being with this couple, and I don't want to reveal too much. I mean, we did kind of talk about it in a spoiler video, but if you want to hear the spoilers, you can go watch that video with my sister. But yeah, so she ends up staying there, and just crazy things in Freida McFadden fashion happen. I tell you, it does give you misery vibes, and I do think it was pretty well written. This one did not give me as much of the wow factor as others have. Like when there's the twist, I wasn't like, whoa, I might have almost even maybe figured it out. And it just, again, like I said in the other video, I do not like I don't like books or movies really where people are held hostage. So for some reason that is like a triggery thing for me. It's just something that, there's a few that I'll watch. I read Misery and watched the movie and everything by Stephen King, but it's not my favorite. It really makes me anxious and really angry. And so I don't like that aspect. I don't like getting stuck in blizzards. So I guess there's a theme for me. I don't like stuckness, if that's a word. I don't like that. But it was good. It was good overall. I mean, again, there was a good twist. It wasn't the most wowing twist for me. But yeah, there was just some things, even with the main character, sometimes I'm just looking at her like, girl, I can't say it in this video, but yeah. So it can be frustrating, but again, I'm saying this and it's still good. If you like Freida McFadden books, if you like thrillers, I suggest this book, especially if you like books where people are kind of in a remote location and kind of, with, trapped or something like that. Some people like that theme, and so that would be, this would be the book for you. So the next book, so this will be number 6 on my list, and this is again, I'm going from 7 to 6, being least favorite to favorite. This one is The Locked Door, and this book is about, I think she was a surgeon. She's a surgeon or a doctor, something like that. And I'm kind of looking. She's in the medical field, and she, she's an adult now, but when she was younger, her father was a serial killer. So he was a known serial killer, and she tried to like get away from it all and, reinvent herself and get away from that so nobody knew that was her dad. But then some murders started happening, where she was. And people found out that who she was or knew who she was, and they started suspecting her. So the police are looking at her as if she's a suspect. Also, there was just some crazy things happening where maybe even she doubted, or wondered if she was actually doing it. So it was good. It had a good twist, I would say. It had a really good twist. Not the most astounding twist, but it had a good twist. It was creepy. This one was more creepy than some of the other ones. I thought this was well written, but what did it for me, again, it wasn't just the most wow, ending, even though it was really good. So when I say this wasn't the most wow, again, it's not because it wasn't good. For Freida McFadden, this wasn't the most wow. Maybe for the average, somebody else, this would be wow. But you've come to expect something so much from this author. And the other thing that probably made it not my favorite is I don't like medical, I don't really like medical settings. So again, I have this other, these little things that get to me. And that's another thing. I don't like medical settings. So she works at a hospital. It's a lot in the hospital. A lot of medical terminology and just a lot of grossness in this book, I would say, concerning smells and all of that kind of thing. And so I didn't like that. But I didn't hate it. It was a good book. It kept me reading. I finished it quicker than I do a lot of books, just like I do with a lot of Freida McFadden books. They're page turners. You just want to keep going and seeing what's happening. But this was number 6 out of 7 for me. So this is The Locked Door. Then the next book is The Boyfriend. And so now we're kind of getting into, well, now I just got to figure out where to put these books. Because now these are like some of my more favorite books of Freida McFadden's. But this one would come in 5th place just because it has to have a place. This book was highly anticipated, I know for myself, and I believe for other Freida McFadden fans. I know for my sister it was a highly anticipated book, and it was good. This book was good, and I'm almost wondering, should I put this one before the one I have next? We'll talk about that in a minute. So this book is about Sydney, and she's single, and she's not having great luck with dating. And so she's, single and ready to mingle or whatever. And she, first of all, one of her friends gets murdered. Okay, so she has a friend that's murdered. And, that kind of shakes her and her friend group up. And, but then she ends up meeting this doctor. And he's like the perfect man. He's almost like too good to be true. And she's, enthralled with him. She's dating him. And then other murders start happening. Okay. So now, for some reason, she's kind of connecting him to the murder. She thinks that he is the murderer. This one was a great page turner. There was a lot of background story to me, so sometimes it maybe dragged just a little bit. But that's okay because it needed to, whatever was in here needed to be in here, if that makes sense. This one had a great twist. It had a great twist at the end. It was kind of a wow and how it happened. It was definitely a wow. I loved it. Again, it was another page turner, easy to read, great twist. I like that Freida McFadden, her characters aren't like exactly all likable, if that makes sense. It's not, some of them are less likable than others. But I like that about the books too. So you're rooting for the character, even though they're not that likable. Sometimes you're just like irritated, with them. And so that's included in this book too. But yeah, this one is great. I mean, the suspense of wondering if that boyfriend is the killer, and you're going back and forth. Yeah, he's the killer. No, he's not the killer. Yeah, he's the killer. No, he's not. You won't know until the end who is the killer, why they're killing or anything, but I really thought she did a great job with this one. And so now I'm kind of questioning if this one should take the place of my next one, which would be my fourth favorite, and that is The Coworker. Okay, so now I'm almost putting these together, or maybe this one might be The Coworker. You all just deal with me. So, The Coworker. I have this as my fourth favorite. I'm not sure if I should have put The Boyfriend before that, but The Coworker is the book that got my sister into reading books. The Coworker blew my sister, as they say, it blew her wig back, or whatever, blew her wig off. And she was so excited about this book that I had to read it. I know one of the reasons why she liked the book is because it's in an office setting. I too like office settings. So I love that component of it. I loved the dynamics between the friends or co-workers or what have you. And it just starts off crazy. So this book, this one person is considered very strange that works in the office, but she's always on time. She's very meticulous in her work. She gets on people's nerves because she's trying to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. And anyway, she one morning she doesn't show up to the office. And so the other coworker, whose name is Natalie, they have a complicated relationship to say the least. But Natalie notices that Don does not show up. Natalie had received an email from Don, I think the night before, something about kind of maybe an urgent email, as well as their boss or manager or what have you, have received an email, and he kind of blew it off. But anyway, so she's really concerned because, Don is not going to miss a day, and Don's especially not going to not tell anybody that she's not going to be there. So she's concerned, and then there's this cryptic note that she finds, and she believes it's from Don, or no, not a cryptic note. I think there were notes left, but it was a phone call that she received, that's it. And she heard her voice, and she thought she might heard screaming or something, or somebody saying help me or something, and she's thinking it's Don. And so then it just spirals from there. So she's actually working like an amateur sleuth, trying to figure out who has Don, where is Don, if Don is dead. There's all these little clues. People get killed by certain things that are favorites of Don's. All this stuff is happening, and I'm going to tell you, it's a good book. This is a great twist. This one has a great twist. I don't want to say too much, because I don't want to give it away. It's just a great twist. This one is really good. I think I do like this one better than The Boyfriend, now that I'm talking it through and remembering everything. Yeah, so page turner, exciting. You don't want to put this one down. If you like that office setting, so it kind of gives you almost a Lifetime feel, but with a little Lifetime feel, but a little better than that. But I like Lifetime movies, and I like the craziness in them and things like that. Yeah, so The Coworker, this is a great one. And now, as I'm going through talking about this, I'm wondering, is it better than this one? So this one is The Housemaid. Okay, so The Housemaid, probably if you've heard of Freida McFadden, this is the one most talked about. This is the one that seems to have put her on the bigger map, and this was a great book. Most people would probably say that this was her best and their favorite. This one is great. It is a good book. It keeps you turning those pages. You don't want to go to sleep. You want to just keep reading and reading so you can find out what in the world is actually going on here. This book, I liked it because something else that I like. So you know what I don't like. I don't like stuck somewhere. I don't like blizzards. I don't necessarily like medical settings. But what I do like is office settings, and I do love books about rich people. So rich bourgeois people, and you're in the rich bourgeois house, so that's where the maid is, okay? The maid's name is, and I always want to say the wrong name. What is it? Why can't, now I've read all 3 of these books, and I can't remember the name of the maid. Millie. So that's sad for me to love these books that bad, but I don't remember the names half the time or more than half. So Millie is the maid, and Millie comes to work for this rich family. She's hired by Nina Winchester, and Nina is this impeccable woman that wears white all the time, and she likes everything done to perfection in the house. So she says, and she likes it. She gives her a list of things that she needs to do and have done. In addition, she needs to take care of their daughter, or tend to her needs. Her daughter's name is Cece, and this is just making me smile because you just have to read the books if you haven't. But anyway, so she has to take care of her, but Cece's like a strange child. She's dressed like a little girl from the Stephen King movie. What's that movie? The Shining or something, one of those little twins or something scary, and always wear these itchy dresses, and she's a brat, and she blames Millie for not doing this or that when Millie did or did her best. Nina blames Millie for things like, she tells her to pick up Cece, and then somebody else picks up Cece, and the other people in the, what is that called? Carpool moms or whatever. They're like, well, she told me to pick her up, and all this stuff to make Millie look bad. And what's worse is she has Millie doing all of this work and cleaning the house to perfection, and then Millie will come downstairs, whatever, and see that the kitchen is a complete disaster. The bathroom is nasty. And when I say nasty, I mean nasty. So all this crazy stuff, she's like, what in the world? So then you have her husband, Andrew, and he just kind of, he's just in the cut. Seems like he's trying to stay out of all this mess. And and I did a whole video, so I don't know why you can see my video. It's probably like the best performing video that I have on YouTube where I'm talking about this book. So just look for that. Anyway, crazy stuff is happening. You don't know why Nina's acting that way. You don't know why Andrew is so calm. You don't know what's going on, and the end is crazy. So the end is crazy. Millie is a boss. But Millie, again, it's not like you just love her so much and she's so adorable in this book. But this one is good. This one is good. So you got to read The Housemaid if you haven't already. If you have, tell me how you liked it. So I can see why this is a lot of people's favorite. But for me, I actually liked The Housemaid is Watching even better than The Housemaid. Now, this is the 3rd one in the series. So there's 3 books in this series, the Housemaid series. This is the 3rd one. This one is the longest one. So for Freida McFadden, this is a little thick. It's not that thick, but it's a little thicker. And this is like the 3rd one. And this is where you see the housemaid, or Millie, just kind of growing in life, growing from the things that she's already dealt with Nina Winchester and all of that. and she's now married. She has kids, and stuff is still happening. Millie is always, even when she doesn't want to be in the mix, she's in the mix. Something happens where she has to solve the crime, and this time it hits home. Okay, so she lives in this nice little neighborhood. I believe she's in a cul-de-sac, and somebody's watching her, and she has this strange neighbor that's super weird and doesn't even want her kids to play with her, that neighbor's kid, and she has, I think, a son that she's really overprotective of. There's rumors about kids being, or a kid being kidnapped or something, killed or something like that. And then all of a sudden Millie's child starts acting strange, and just her husband is acting strange, and just like her world is falling apart in her picturesque ideal life neighborhood where she's just trying to chill out and live her life. This one was really good. I enjoyed it. Some people did not like it. I tell you, it does go more into Millie as a person, and this is where I like Millie the most. I like seeing Millie as a mom. I like seeing Millie as a wife. I like seeing Millie as a mama bear, and as a wife that has, she's down for her husband, and maybe, will, get at him too if he's tripping. So that kind of thing. So I really like that. But if you like faster paced thrillers, this might be a little harder for when you're used to Freida McFadden's going really fast, and this one's a little slower. But I liked it. The slow burn was worth it. The end was worth it. It was a little triggery. It was a little icky, I guess I should say. So this one wasn't an easy one to read. But it was a good book. So that is The Housemaid is Watching. And finally, my favorite actually was the second in the series. So this is The Housemaid's Secret. And I say that, but in my mind I'm like going like, do I have these in the right order? Because as I think about her books and remember what I've read, I'm just getting so excited because they're all so good. I know the ones that's definitely would be the least, and that is The Crash and The Locked Door for me. But again, I like them, but the other ones just kind of jump way ahead of those, and I just really really love them. So this one, The Housemaid's Secret. So we have Millie again. She's the maid for, I believe they're an affluent or rich couple again. In this one, instead of the wife hiring her, it is the husband. And this husband hires her and wants her to take care of the house. Again, he's very meticulous. He's very, he wants certain foods bought at certain locations. And the wife is in a room. She stays locked in a room. It's because she's not well, okay? But sometimes Millie sees her looking, I think, through the little keyhole or peeping out, through the crack of the door. She opens it, and Millie wants to help the wife because she believes this husband is abusive, and Millie's not down for that. Millie's because of Millie's past, Millie is not down for anybody being hurt by others, especially men being abusive. And so she's trying to help this woman, and this woman is just acting, when Millie starts talking to her, she all of a sudden just doesn't want to talk, and all of this stuff. Now this one, crazy twist. This one, when I tell you it's crazy if you haven't read it, if you have, if you know, so put it in the comments, without giving things away. But it was wild. So this one was my favorite. It's hard to say why, exactly why it's my favorite. I think I like the plot twist the best in this one. And so I liked that. I just like the plot twist. That's all I can say. Again, it was an easy read. It was a page turner. I didn't want to put it down. I was trying the whole time to figure out what is actually happening. Because in Freida McFadden's books, it's like nothing is as it seems. They're in this penthouse apartment. So again, it has that, rich feel to it that I like. And yeah, it's crazy. And that's all I can say about it. So those are that's the ranking of the books that I've read by Freida McFadden. I've read 7 of her books. And so I've given you them in order with The Housemaid Secret, even though it seems like I've said less about this one. I think because I don't want to really say anything about it. I don't want to give this away in any way because the the twist is just so crazy. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Freida McFadden books. Please put in the chat if you have anything to say. Just don't put any spoilers, just in case people haven't read the books. But please tell me which ones were your favorite, which one were your least favorite, and like in general why, if you can give a general reason as to why they're your favorite or not favorite. And suggest to me which one you think, based on what you see that I like in terms of Freida McFadden books, suggest to me which ones you think that I should read next. I'm definitely going to be reading The Tenant in May, and I like books in apartment settings as well. And so that was kind of cool about The Boyfriend because it kind of, you know, people were in an apartment and things like that. But anyway, I keep going off. But yeah, so let me know based on what I said I liked, what you think I should read next other than The Tenant. And again, let me know what you like in terms of Freida McFadden. You can rank yours too in the comments. With that said, make sure that you subscribe, hit notifications, like, share, all that good stuff. Thank you for all those who have been hanging with me, and I hope you all be blessed and be book nerdy.